In chapter 3 of The Naked Truth About Small Groups, I write about all of the ways I have seen churches implement small groups and experience moderate to catastrophic failure. At the core of this comes from the programmatic mindset that most pastors maintain. We're going to gather leaders that we think would be interested in leading groups that we don't find to be completely nutcases or crazy people, and we're going to bring them in and we're going to train them as quickly as we can with cognitive information, and then we're going to multiply the number of leaders in our group by 10. So if I train 10 leaders or 10 couples, now I can have 100 people in groups, 10 groups. I'll start 10 groups right at once. This is almost always a recipe for failure. The reason being is we have the whole concept completely ignores training members to be members before you train church members to be holistic group leaders. And there's a big missing part of the process there. People find training by doing. This is how people learn. Cognitive information is very good, but if it's not combined with an activity, the psychomotor domain, they'll never move into that transformative life change where they get the affective change, where they don't think any differently about it. I live in biblical community. It's missional. This is what I do now. To move them from a pew to that point, people need to experience it. So in this chapter of the book, I talk a lot about how you need to transition your church very slowly. And if we go back to the children's story about the turtle and the hare, if you're doing a transition right, there probably will be very, very little fur, if any, on your shell. You've got to remember that this is a process. You're letting people, you're helping people make radical change in their life. And you've got to go slowly. So go ahead and gather your 10 leaders. But start one group with them and experience holistic small group life. Reach some people for Jesus. Bring those people into the group. You know, if you don't need a smoke break after worship, and if somebody doesn't show up with alcohol on their breath, or somebody doesn't get real mad at Satan and cuss when they pray, you might not be doing it right. I mean, it really needs to be that way, and it needs to be in the first group so leaders can experience group life as a member before they go out on their own. And then you've got to have an experience for the first members who will come in. But like I've said in other parts of the book, you can't take consumers from a congregation and put them in a group and expect them to be producers, because it won't work. It just won't work. It's like driving into McDonald's and turning it into a hamburger. It just doesn't make sense.